Okay, Dave, here we are wrapping up your first spring practice with Northern Illinois. How would you describe overall how things have gone this spring?
It's gone really well. The players have bought into the systems and they've learned a lot. Really improved in fundamentals and technique and communication. That's kind of the emphasis of spring, is just getting better at playing the game, understanding what's expected and why. And it's been fun to watch the guys compete.
Of course, this team has been through a lot emotionally over the
Right.
last several months, and most significantly, of course, the shooting of Devon Butler, and he's making really good progress in his rehabilitation, I guess. Just to describe what toll that took on everybody.
Well, emotionally, it was a huge lesson in perspective for me and the coaches and the team. And that day we had practice. And so we were on the field getting after guys, and they're getting after each other, and you're yelling at each other about a 6-inch step or where your hands are, where your eyes are. Then all of a sudden, one of your guys that had his best practice of the springs fighting for his life, and so it put a lot of things in perspective for me. And like I told him, he's given a second chance on life, and now he gets to go do things in a different way and look at things in a different light. And I know it gave him a huge perspective on how much he really does love football.
Of course, I know you spent a lot of time with Devon
Yeah.
during this crisis, and you said you were able to have pizza with him as he's recovering.
Yeah. Last night we hung out and had some pizza and watched the playoffs, and we were laughing about I took a picture of him almost every day, on my phone when he was in the hospital, so I could show him how he was recovering and everything. And we were looking at those and laughing. And it's like 2 weeks ago, man. I was the only one there for a while because his family hadn't gotten here yet, and they let me go back there and be with him. And I said, I don't know if you're going to live or not, And now he's alive and joking and laughing, and all the backers were over there. They're all making fun of each other. And this is unbelievable,
Yeah, that's got to be tough. You're making a transition.
Yeah.
A lot of new staff members, the players are getting to know as well. Any major differences in your approach, either style-wise or technique-wise, from what these upperclassmen have been accustomed to?
I'm sure there's a lot. The fundamentals of football, I know Coach Kill and I were very similar in that, and what we believe in, and being tough and being accountable and running the football and playing good defense, taking care of each other and being good teammates. All those things are similar. But when it comes down to the verbiage that's being used, the terminology for the systems on offense, defense, and special teams, those are all new words, new languages for the guys. And the way we run our offense, with it being no huddle, is totally different. So as similar as some of the plays are, it's totally different how fast they're being run.
Yeah, some of the players I talked to earlier were talking about the no huddle.
Yeah.
Are you going to use that 100% or 80% or what?
That's what we are. Now, the tempo that it goes at depends on what we're doing. It has the ability to go as slow as you want it to go to protect your defense. It has the ability, if things are going well, to rev it up, and you see the defense on their heels on the other side of the field to take advantage of that. I just want our guys trained in the fact that they can go as fast or as slow as they want. Because if you don't practice that, you can't just switch in the middle of a game, And so it's been a change, but, we got 29 more practices before we play Army to get it down.
And of course, you've got a veteran quarterback in Chandler Harnish, who's a sharp guy and can pick up this new system, I'm sure.
Yeah, just seeing Chandler from day 1 to day 14, you can see a lot more comfort. He's more relaxed. And that's huge, for us to have him in that mode.
Span is gone. I'm sure you're still going to run the football quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you going to be counting on to
We've
run
got
the
4 tailbacks right now that we're really excited about. Jazz Hopkins has really stepped up. His game's probably the most consistent guy. And then Akeem Daniels, Jamal Womble, and Leighton Settle have all had days where you're like, wow, we got 4 guys that can run the ball. And Cameron Bell was a guy that we were looking at in that rotation as well. But just trying to get them all on the field at the same time has been difficult. So, he's doing some things for us now as an H-back and fullback, and that way we can get more than one tailback on the field.
If you could isolate 2 or 3 things that have to go right for you to have the kind of season you want to have, what would those areas be?
Well, we got to protect the football. On offense, we got to take care of that. I think that's huge. We've got to be very disciplined as far as penalties, and we got to stay healthy. Those are the 3 things. if we do that. You know, there's other things, but when it comes down to having a season that everybody wants to have, those things have to go your way. And there's really nothing we can do about the last one. You know, you just kind of hope. But, you know, philosophy-wise, our offense has to be able to run the ball. Our defense has to be able to stop the run. You know, those are things that you'll hear us preaching and yelling at practice every day.
And you're going to have some new faces on your special teams, right? With
Yeah.
your kickers. And,
We are.
Yeah. How's that working out?
Ryan Neers had a good spring as our punter. I'm excited about where he's at, and there's a young man coming in to compete with him. And then as our kickers, we signed a junior college All-American, Josh Gallington, that'll be here this summer. And he'll compete with Matt Sims for the starting job. And Matt's gotten better throughout the spring, but it'll be good to have another guy here in that position. So that's where we're at.
I know as a coach, you're looking to the next game, first game against Army, but just looking at the entire schedule, you got some interesting challenges and opponents. Anything in particular that you're looking forward to this season?
Well, you know, Army's a very unique team to play. They're very good at what they do. They're obviously disciplined. They're in the military. Their systems on both sides of the ball, which makes them different than some of the other academies. They're even different on defense. You know, they run the flex defense, which is unique, and then offensively with the triple option attack. The good thing for our guys defensively is they see a lot of the same components of option from our offense. So it's a unique challenge in all the chop blocks that they do. You know, it's a tough preparation, but at the same time it makes you fundamentally sound defensively. So that part of it I'm excited about. And then, you know, we go down to Kansas, which is my home state and where I worked for 4 years. So that's in a personal game for me. And Coach Matukowicz is also, and Coach Kane played at Kansas, so we've got some guys on our staff that'll be a big game. And then, you know, we get to play in Soldier Field, which for our Illinois kids is huge. And, you know, obviously against my former team that I was with, so that'll be a big one for me as well. But the first three are, you know, I know all guys are looking at it, and our focus as a team will be Army all summer. That'll be what we talk about and think about.
And of course, Northern Illinois has really gotten on the national map and broke the top 25 there briefly last season, won the bowl game. So we got some high standards to withhold, right?
We do. You know, they raised the bar here as a program a year ago. They had more wins than they've ever had in program history with 11. And the goal that we have is sustainable success. You know, we want to be good, obviously, and they were good a year ago. But the tradition of 7-6, 8 wins, 7 wins, and then having a big year and then back down to 7 or 8, you know, obviously we'd love to maintain the 9, 10, 11 win seasons if we can. And so that's the biggest hurdle right now is how do you maintain that level of success, and that's what we're talking about.
Great. Well, best of luck to you, Dave.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.